Hi guys, Brain here, and welcome to another commentary video. Today I wanted to talk about why I actually kind of prefer getting quote-unquote bully squads compared to other survivor gamers, because I feel like that's a big thing that's kind of like out there in the DBD community, especially with like the killer main community, is that like bully squads are the worst and we hate bully squads and we wish they'd all just go away and all that stuff. And I don't like particularly want bully squads. Like I'm never like, heck yeah, bring it on. I do prefer them over a lot of the gamers in the game. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So first of all, I want to talk about a little bit like what we would consider like, say, a bully squad. Like, because I feel like we, like, as with many problems in Dead by Daylight, it comes down to our definition of these things and what we precisely call these things. You can see that with so many toxicity conversations, as that definition gets kind of messy. But, you know, defining things is important. So the bully squad, I would consider like 4-man flashlight, clicky squad, which, you know, you can't even click anymore. So that's funny, interesting. Or like a 4-man Sabo squad or something to that extent. Essentially, their whole gimmick is I'm trying to prevent you from playing the game. I'm trying to prevent you from getting hooks. I'm trying to prevent you from doing ABC. Their point is not to do the objective, but it's more so to try and like do some sort of tricky play consistently to try and stop you from playing the game. Now, I want to say before we get into this, this is frustrating. I especially find like 4-man Sabo squads very frustrating because, like I said, they just kind of, that their whole point is preventing you from playing the game. That is quite literally their objective. Their thought process is I'm literally going to go into this game to try to prevent you from playing literally as much as possible. So I feel like I get more frustration with like a Sabo squad than I do like a flashlight squad, but I'm getting a little bit off topic there. But the reason that I would rather have, say, this is because the alternatives typically aren't too fun for me in both capacities. So in the first version of this, I would be going against like a 4-man gen rush squad or like a 3-man gen rush squad. I mean, honestly, and gen rushing in general is just boring. And you know, I'm not going to go over that too in depth because I feel like I talk about that like every other video. Gen rush versus gen slowdown is just boring, and I hate it. So yeah. But yeah, if I get a squad that's running like stakeout, running like hyper focus, like doing all this stuff, and they're trying to like prove on gens and they have toolboxes and they're trying to rush through the game as quick as possible, I'm not even getting a chance to play. I'm not even getting a chance to like do things, you know, like at least a Sabo squad or like a flashlight clicky squad is trying to like interact with me. They're trying to do it to remove my fun, but they're trying to interact with me. We're playing together. Even if I'm not having the best time, we are quite literally playing together. We are quite literally interacting together. So there is gameplay happening there. As opposed to like somebody who's just trying to slam the gens out as quick as possible. Most of the gameplay is happening away from me. I'm not interacting with that group. I'm not playing with that group, not really, because they're just kind of like playing with themselves off in a corner somewhere. And man, that's an unfortunate sentence, huh? Anyways, we're just not interacting, and it's not as fun. And I just hate it. It's just not interactive. It's not stimulating, and it's just, yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's just not fun. And the flip side, and this may surprise some people because I feel like a lot of killer mains would probably disagree with this, is like I would prefer like a bully squad to like a pushover team, like a team that just like makes every mistake very bad, not very coordinated. Maybe it's like 3 solo queues and like one, like, you know, 3 solo queues. What am I saying? But maybe it's like a lot of solo queue players and maybe like 1 duo, and I'm just like landsliding them. Like they're making a lot of obvious mistakes. They're not getting any traction. They aren't getting any pressure. I also find those games pretty boring as well. I like the challenge of Dead by Daylight. I like being challenged. I like, you know, having a good back and forth. I feel like the most fun matches in Dead by Daylight are the ones that come down to like 1 gen. And that's both sides. Like matches that come down to 1 gen, or like, you know, all the gens are completed and then they barely escape, or I barely like get them all, you know. Those are the most fun matches for me, the ones that come down to the wire. That's what I find the most exciting. So when I'm in a match against a group of people that I'm just kind of like landsliding and just like beating them super easily, I don't find that necessarily stimulating either. Of course, you know, like, you know, I'm mostly streaming when I play this game, and if like my Twitch chat's watching, they love that. You know, like they like seeing me win. But like, it's not stimulating if you like win a match at 4 or 5 gens. And it's also not stimulating if like, you know, the killer gets like 0 hooks and you all escape. You know, it's like it's not as thrilling, right? It's not as exciting of a match. So I at least, like I said earlier, like bully squads are directly interacting with you the whole time, and they are putting up a fight just naturally the whole time. So the matches, even if they do err on the side of frustrating, at least there's there's content, there's stuff happening there. There's stuff going on that's interesting and fun to do, even if it's frustrating, rather than just like getting an easy win or having most of the gameplay happen in the background. So yeah, that's my reasoning. I don't think I would like boot up DBD and be like, man, I hope I get a bunch of bully squads today. But compared to the alternative, it's not the worst thing in the world, and I feel like a lot of people kind of like overstate how awful being in those matches can be. So yeah, what do you guys think of bully squads? Let me know down in the comments below. But other than that, it's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I appreciate you so much for staying and spending time with me today. And I'll be here tomorrow because I do upload daily. So I'll see you there. But if I don't, I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.